Did you all see this? As a Disney person myself, I saw this. A streaker invaded Disneyland's It's a Small World ride. Ridden it many times. Never saw this. There's a ton of video showing the 26-year-old man who climbed out of the ride, got up close and personal with the animatronic sets in just his shorts. Riders said they were worried he was going to break them. He even eventually took off all his clothes. Officials stopped the ride, leaving passengers stranded. You can see park officials tried to confront him at one point while he's fully naked in the ride's canals. Police finally caught up with him and carried him away. Look how they're carrying him away, and he's still naked. You would think they'd throw a blanket over him. Yeah. He was arrested for indecent exposure and for being under the influence. Lots of folks complain that it took Disney way too long to respond. What do y'all think of this?
I was looking at that like, what drug is he on? That's terrible. But and also, how much did he pay to do that?
First of all, yeah, to get into Disneyland's really expensive. Yeah. It's not cheap.
I mean, when you see how other places deal with streakers, I mean, it's pretty rough. Like people do that in football and baseball games.
They get slammed,
There was actually a streaker this past baseball season that knocked over a player at a game we were at.
Right.
Ran out, and I think he was trying to hug him, but he knocked him over. I mean, it's all funny until it's not. And seeing a naked guy in the water, yeah, it's funny. But if they assaulted somebody or worse, I mean, what should be the penalty? Should there be harsher penalties for this?
This reminds me a lot of the airplane situations we're seeing, where people are sort of trapped, right? You're stuck on this ride.
And somebody's screaming.
You're with your kids, someone's screaming or assaulting you, and this guy's totally obscene, and security doesn't seem to be on it. Why did it have to take so long?
And I'm surprised because the security at Disneyland is supposed to be
really good.
The best. There's supposed to be a jail underneath.
Yeah, there's undercover people.
I
got in trouble with one.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you go to the Disneyland jail?
No, but he threatened it.
Totally.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he was in a backwards cap.
What'd you do?
I did some weird thing.
What? Tell us.
Yeah, just Sam.
Okay, all right. I will say, though, listen, how do you know the difference between someone who's on something and just trying to be a streaker and someone who's a pervert? Because It's a Small World ride is a ride with little kids everywhere.
Everywhere.
Would it bother you? What would you do?
Disneyland in general, I would say.
No, there's a lot bigger
there's
rides.
A group of you.
What would you do in this situation?
Again, I don't want to keep hammering this down, but I want harsher punishments for all these things. And I think part of the security is backing off is we need to know what's happening. If this man's going through a mental episode and we do a little more aggressive, now Disney's on the hook for a $5 billion lawsuit by some mental patient, right? So it's just where is the balance in America right now? Because if you put your hands on him and then it's Disney Corporation, some lawyer is going to say, let's sue for $1 billion.
And it's all video.
I was thinking if you put your hands on him, because I'm thinking
if I did that, if he was running towards my child. Yeah, right. And then I put my hand.
Then you're in trouble.
Right.
And so I wouldn't blame you.
I mean, I miss the old days well, let's come out here and talk. And then you don't know what happens after that. I miss those days.
I mean, you do forget the rights of all the other people there, right? Because everybody will say, but this guy's having, to your point, a mental episode. And I have empathy for that. But I also have empathy for every other person that's there, including my children. So no.
Listen, I'm on your side. But nowadays, with social media, there's two sides to every story. How dare they put his hands on them? He has a mental episode since he was 4. Well, then maybe they should have took care of it between now and 4 years old. So I don't know. I guess I'm old school and I
hear you.
My stuff's
You handle things like casino.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do.
It is ironic he chose It's a Small World.
Yeah. Why? Did you see?
It's funny.